Okay, Celtics are back. Oh my god, I'm like Dave Chappelle's crackhead. I've been fiending for this shit for so long. I'm so desperate to talk about the NBA that I'm gonna just jump right into this first preseason game and just have a bunch of crazy overreactions already. First of all, I already like this team so much better now that dickhead Kyrie Irving is not around. They all just feel happier. I feel happier. They're going to be so much more fun to watch this year. I don't know if they're going to necessarily be better. I think they're going to have a similar record at the end of the year, but they're going to be a lot more fun to watch. Gordon Hayward is back. That's how I feel. He's back. I think he's going to have a great year. He just looks more explosive and more decisive going to the hoop, and I think he's just going to be awesome. Carson Edwards off the bench is going to just be a steal. He's going to be so fantastic. Our draft was super weird this year because the first player we took, Romeo Langford, I don't know if I like him. And then the second player we took, Grant Williams, I like him, but I'm not sure if there's an NBA player in there because he's too small, really, for the 4, but he's not quick enough or a good enough shooter to play the 3. So I just don't know really what he is besides having a lot of intangibles and being a good basketball player. And then Carson Edwards, who was like one of our later picks, looks to be our best player. He has a definitive skill, chucking the threes from everywhere. And I just think he's going to be great. I think he's going to come off the bench and just get buckets. He's good at that already, and I think he's got it. Taco Fall he's just a thing. He's like an enigma. He's a force of nature. I mean, first of all, you got to look at the obvious. He's 7'6". And I think he's like the 6th tallest human being in the world. It's like 6 or 8, somewhere in there. There's like a handful of dudes in the world that are taller than him. So I get it. He's a I don't want to say a freak, but he is a spectacle. And it's incredible to see him out there, the reaction that he gets from the fans. I mean, people are dressed up in tacos, in taco outfits. There was literally a chant in the third quarter, I think, of this preseason game where people were screaming for Taco. I mean, this is a guy that people aren't even sure if he's going to make the roster. How can you even say that you're not sure if he's going to make the roster when you've got fans wearing fucking tacos screaming his name for him to come out and play in a preseason game? I mean, that is a mental amount of fanfare, and it's not just because he's tall. From everything I've heard about this guy, he's like the nicest human being that's ever existed. And he's charismatic, and he's kind, and he's really intelligent. And as a basketball player, I mean, he's not great. He still is thinking a lot on the court. He's a bit slow in his reactions. And, he can't shoot a free throw to save his life, which is going to be a big issue because he's going to get double-teamed and fouled a lot just because of how tall he is. But he has instincts, and there's definitely a player in there. And I'm going to say it right now. After watching Vincent Poirier, the dude the center that we signed out of France or whatever, after watching him play for like 25 minutes and be basically invisible, he just looked like a human being that was on a basketball court. I don't think I saw him do anything today. I would just give all of his minutes to Taco Fall. I mean, look, we're not going to win the championship this year. We're probably going to make the playoffs and get bounced in the second round again. So, what the fuck are we doing with some of these guys? Like, Semi Ojeleye, this is what I'm going to say. Here's my hot take. Semi Ojeleye, I'm done. I'm done with him. His shot, when I watch him shoot a 3, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. And that is not a compliment. I don't need to ever see him shoot again. If he hasn't figured out how to not shoot a flat, stupid, fucking brickin' three-pointer by now, then he's never going to figure it out. And we really just need to cut ties with him. Poirier, I don't care about. Like, Poirier should be the big that we use when everybody else is hurt or tired. The only elite skill Semi Ojeleye has is biceps, and that's not a basketball skill. So I would give all of Ojeleye's minutes to this Javonte Green dude, this 26-year-old who used to play in Europe. He killed it in the summer league. He came into this game. He's number 43. Which is fitting, because that's about how many dunks he had in this game. It was insane. He just came in and started throwing down tomahawks and 360s, and he was all over the place. The guy has a real skill, athleticism, and he can get to the hoop, and he has this energy about him, and I know it was just one preseason game, and I'm insane, clearly, but Ojeleye is just fucking garbage, and I don't understand why. I get, like, contractually he's there, but it makes no sense to keep pouring minutes into Ojeleye, who we just know who he is at this point. He sucks. He's strong, and he's fit, and he can kind of play defense, and he can never, ever make a shot, even if, like, his mother is kidnapped and they're holding a gun to her head and they're like, make this 3 or she dies, he still is going to shoot an air ball. So get fucking rid of him. Give all the minutes to Green. Love that. Put Poirier's French ass on the bench and give all his minutes to Taco. Love that. Carson Edwards and Marcus Smart, 6th man of the year candidates. And Gordon's back. Hayward's got like this scraggly, like I'm growing up beard. Hopefully, he'll grow up and take his ass into the paint and do some layups this year instead of shooting 48 threes a game. But so far, I mean, Kemba Walker, obviously, I haven't even talked about him, but he's just a really likable dude, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're coming from, flat earth dickbag Kyrie, just being likable goes a really long way. So just great vibes from this team. Like, I think they said at one point in the commentary that, like, last season there probably weren't 3 games in the Garden where the fans were as into it and as vocal as they were for this preseason game. I mean, that tells, like, the whole story right there. And obviously Taco Fall was a huge part of it, but it just seems like a much more likable cast of guys. I will say the one guy I'm really worried about is Jalen, because Jalen is like, he's in his contract year, whether he's up for an extension or not. And I love Jaylen Brown, but I don't know if I've seen his game develop at all from where he was in year 2. Like, year 2, he really kind of surpassed expectations. He shot the 3 ball really well. His defense was really solid. And I feel like that's still who he is. He still hasn't figured out how to dribble. He's still not a good passer or a playmaker. His defense is largely the same. His 3-point shot has actually even probably regressed a little bit. And, I'm just not, like, there's a lot of mouths to feed on this offense, just like last year. And I'm just worried that Jalen is not really going to get his. Like, Tatum's going to get his. And I think Hayward is going to be much more assertive this year, and I think he's going to get his. And I just think there's going to be nights where Brown's getting his, but there's going to be a lot of nights when he isn't. And that's not a good place to be when you're trying to get a contract extension. Like, those are the years you really got to worry about your numbers, and maybe you're forcing things. And I'm just not sure that he's the answer anymore. I always wanted to build this team around the 2 J's, but I'm just saying, and this is another hot take, I'm sizzling over here, I'm on fire. I'm just saying he might not be around for the rest of this year. Would not shock me if he ended up getting moved, because, Danny's in a tough spot where he's forced to kind of shit or get off the pot with Jalen. And, a lot of the guys that are in his sort of same range, age class and draft and skill level, they've gotten huge extensions, like max contract extensions. And so, Jalen has every right to kind of say, look, these are my colleagues and they got max extensions. I want one as well. And I don't see it. I mean, he could surprise me this year, and I hope he does, but I just don't see him as being a max contract player. And if Danny feels the same way, he's going to have to make a hard choice. And I just think maybe it might be best if they move him, maybe just try to move him for a big or even a future pick. I don't think we're really in the win now mentality anymore. I mean, I guess you could say we kind of are, because Hayward's contract is just a few more years, I think 2 more years, and Kemba, he's not getting any younger, but I don't know. I'm not sure where Jalen necessarily fits within this offense. So worried about him. I think Hayward's going to be great. Kemba's going to be great. Don't worry about him. Taco is you can't, I hear them talking about, like, they're not sure if they're going to give him a roster spot, and I just think it's the craziest shit I ever heard. How do you give this bum Poirier, who just looks like a white dude that can't do anything, how do you give him a guaranteed roster spot? But you're looking at Taco, who is like world famous at this point. He's probably dating one of the Kardashians for all I know. He's everywhere, and you're like, you're not sure if you can give him a contract spot? It seems insane. This guy has to be on the roster this year. He has to get minutes, even if he's not great. The only way he's going to get better is by giving him minutes. You can't just sit that guy on the bench. There's just too much going on with him to not give him a chance. And I kind of feel the same about Javonte Green. I would be kind of surprised if he made the roster, but it's going to really bum me out because I just know what's going to happen. They're going to keep Ojale, and they're probably going to send Green to the G League or whatever. And it's crazy because Ojeleye just sucks balls. And Green is really exciting. He looked better than Jaylen Brown tonight. I mean, I know it's just one game, but he was doing the stuff that Jaylen used to do. He was posterizing people and throwing down dunks and just ratcheting up the level of excitement. Trust me when I tell you that Ojeleye does not do that. But anyways, yeah, I was just like super excited. Like basketball is back. I'm like fully engorged trying to do my work while my laptop is tipping over on my boner. That's how excited I am that basketball is back. And it feels good to be back because it took me about 8 seconds into the game before I just already started complaining about the refs. This whole shit with every up fake is a travel is just like, look, man, if you're gonna call every up fake as a travel, I'm cool with that. Fine, whatever. But you can't then let James Harden take 14 fucking steps backwards and shoot a three. Like, you have to have some level of self-respect and consistency with the rules. If you're going to call every up fake as a travel, then you can't let James Harden take 4 fucking steps backwards. That's like if you ran a red light and then, like, because you ran the red light, you ran over a baby and you killed it and the baby died from you running it over. And then the cop, like, pulls you over and he's like, you ran that red light, and then he gave you a ticket for running a red light, and the dead baby is just sitting there dead. That's basically what they're doing with travel. And I know that's the worst analogy ever, but that's what they're doing. They're calling you for, like, maybe shuffling your foot a little bit when you do an up fake, but they're letting James Harden do 14 step backs, 1 foot fadeaway jumpers, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. It's crazy, and they need to get their shit together. But anyways, super happy basketball's back. I'm not sure how good the Celtics are going to be this year. I think a few months ago I said they were the 8th best team in the NBA. I still think they're somewhere around there, but the thing I'm the most excited about is I just think they're going to be fun to watch and fun to root for. And yeah, we're going to have a whole bunch more podcasts like this of me just saying crazy shit and getting super excited for no reason and probably no one listening as well. But yeah, so keep tuned to that. I'll have more Celtics stuff coming up. I like doing these more than the book reviews because the book reviews are a lot of work. They're a lot of work, and I'm quite lazy from my job right now. Much easier just to get on here and rant about the Celtics. So probably more of that coming up soon. All right, see you later. Rants, reviews, ramblings. I can't even remember the name of my own channel. It's been so damn long. All right, bye.